What is going on, Laker fans? Thanks for tuning in to Purple&Gold stream, your home of 2020 NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers. What a way to start our New Year's, as the Lakers go on a 3-game winning streak after defeating the Memphis Grizzlies 108-94, the final score. So first part of the show, I will talk about the game, and then I will talk about players in general, players that I was satisfied with, players that I feel like need to show more improvements. Then I'll talk about the other exciting games in the NBA. The game started pretty well for the Lakers, go on a 9-point leading the beginning of the first quarter, and then they go on then the Grizzlies pretty much go on their own run, 17-0 run that pretty much ended the first quarter. Lakers were trailing actually after the first quarter, 25-36. So then they tie with the 47. They go on an 11-2 run again, to tie the game. And the halftime score 56-54, Lakers up 2. And then second half, we went on 3 minutes without scoring, and the Grizzlies pretty much caught up the lead. So at the end of third quarter, it was 77-75. The score. Lakers are up 2 going into the third quarter, and then the LeBron go on a run by himself, scoring 10 points for the Lakers, and the rest is history. So the Lakers' overall performance, not very satisfied with what they did against a star-depleted team like Memphis Grizzlies without 2 star players like Ja Morant and the Jaren Jackson Jr. I feel like this game felt like the Lakers won by talent, not by their effort. They didn't play well in any situation, in any better way of explaining how today's game turned out. It was very lackluster effort from the Lakers on both ends. They did not defend well in the paint, also in the 3-point line. They allowed Grizzlies to shoot 7 points in the first half. Then Grizzlies went on a cold streak by themselves. It's not like the Lakers defended them well. It's just the Grizzlies went on a cold streak by themselves. It was 1-for-19 the rest of the way. And that happens, right? But I wasn't impressed with how the Lakers came out and defended against a low team like Grizzlies. I'm not disrespecting the Grizzlies fans. I'm just saying the Lakers are much better on the paper, on a talented level. This game shouldn't even be a close game. But we kept Grizzlies, giving them a chance to come back by allowing turnovers, allowing easy points in the paint, not doing a great job on defense, not helping on defense. Defensive execution was terrible. There's communication. We allow a lot of open 3, and they knocked it down in the first half, but they just cooled off. My boy Joanna is they might have lost if Ja Morant was playing. I mean, I agree with what he's saying. They would have lost this game if they had 2 stars in the lineup. We took this game for granted. I think we thought we were gonna cruise this game without even trying hard. But if any NBA team is capable of beating an elite team. That's why they're in the NBA. You cannot go easy on any team any night. And I think they'll learn from this game that they can't go easy on everyone. They need to really show their aggression, that they are the defending champion. But so far, I haven't seen any really effort from the Lakers really prove that we belong to win another championship. Let's talk about a couple players that I'm going to talk about. Probably start with the LeBron James, of course. He's the only guy that pretty much handled the business tonight, scoring 10 points in the fourth quarter. Ended up with 22 points, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 assists shy of getting his 96 triple-double. He set the record last game, passing Kobe Bryant for the triple-double as a Laker. It's impressive because it's not in 3 seasons. Kobe played for 20 years, recorded 21 triple-double. LeBron's already surpassed that. So you can tell how all-around LeBron James is. There's no question that the talent that LeBron has, Kobe was more scorer. But he could have facilitated more. Like he acted as a facilitator sometimes, and he posted up like 15 assists. It wasn't hard for him. But his main job is to score the basket. So he didn't really care about putting up like triple-double numbers. They're just two completely different type of players. So yeah, we're not gonna argue about that. We're not gonna argue who's better, who's not, who's worse. That's just meaningless. We just have to appreciate the greatness of these two players. And so LeBron, basically gave us that cushion in the fourth quarter that we were able to secure the win. If it wasn't for LeBron's effort in the fourth quarter, the game could have been more close. And you never know how the thing would have turned out. Let me start by saying that I'm not impressed with Anthony Davis tonight. Even though he put up okay number, like a decent number, 17 points, 9 rebounds, but he's got to do a better job on both ends. Like he needs to be more aggressive. He shot 15 times, that's okay. But the discrepancy of him playing in the first half and second half was huge. Like first half, he was very quiet. Again, he seems to disappear. When he's not trying hard, it looks like he's not showing effort. Lakers fans are not very satisfied with how he's playing these past couple games. Except the last game, he scored like 34 points. When he tries hard, he put up a point. And you can see on his production, the number will up. But when he doesn't try hard, you can tell he ends up with the lackluster number. For him, that's lackluster. He's supposed to have 20-10 every single night. You know? That's the only thing I have an issue with Anthony Davis is not trying hard every time. He needs to enchant more Mamba mentality in himself. Like I thought he did when he, made that game-winning shot against Denver in the Western Final in the bubble. I thought he was gonna have that Mamba mentality, but it looks like he's not ready yet. Yeah, I'm very impressed with how the bench player played today. We pretty much outscored the Grizzlies bench 40-29, thanks to Montreal Harrell scoring 16 points and Matthew with 14. So they combined with 30 points out of 40. So those two guys did their part. One guy I need to mention again is Kyle Kuzma. He started in replacement to KCP. So he started in 2 today. Usually Frank Vogel usually rotating around 2 and 3. But because he's a big guy for 2, he can take advantage on other shooting guards. But he did not really do much. Except he's scoring 9 points in the first quarter, shooting lights out 3 for 4. I thought he was gonna put up 20 points because when I saw him do it in the first quarter, but he was pretty much non-existent in the second half, and just scored 2 points at the rest of the way. That's how much you can tell that Kuzma wasn't trying hard. If he came out like he did in the first quarter, he would have scored more. It's really not about just scoring for Kuzma. It's more like he's not trying hard 100% all the time. He comes out strong, then he cools down. I think it has to do with his rhythm. He's a rhythm shooter. So when he's out of rhythm, he tends to just jack up his shot and making a bad shot selection. That really is a problem when you're watching him play. I'm irritated every time he just tries not hard on defense, let other dominant guys go into the paint. I think they're just taking advantage on the defense. He's being exposed on defense most of the time because they know he's like a black hole, right, for a team. So that's enough of talking about Kuzma. The other guy I would like to mention is Dennis Schroeder. Also did not play very well. Had some good defensive plays here and there. He ended up, I think he scored the whole double figure. Well, he did score double figure, but shooting poorly, 4 for 13, 0 for 4 from 3, 5 assists. Did not have a turnover. Played 31 minutes. Not very productive number there. That's the lowest production I saw from Dennis Schroeder since he joined as a Laker. So about Joanna, regroup, refocus, come back stronger, more aggressive, more strategic, ready to. I mean, we know that this team needs time to gel. They're gonna start playing better once they get used to each other and the system. The new guys are still not sure how they fit into the rotation. They're mostly their execution, like their offensive execution, defensive execution. Sometimes they're unsure where they should be on the floor. So that comes with more communication and more practice time together and just gelling as a team. Right? I think that's not going to be a huge problem for the Lakers going down the road. Just their effort level, the energy level that brings up every single game is not we are satisfied with. As a Laker fan, we would like to see more energy from each player. They just feel like they don't want to play today, and just felt like their energy level is totally off in the first half of the game. So we have another Memphis game coming on Tuesday. We hope to see how that game will turn out. I just want to see more dominant AD, like from the get-go. I want him to demand the ball more. And even he misses a lot of shots, I still want to see him and trying. Like trying and not trying is a different thing. You know, he's a too talented player to really, play like that every single time. Just the mental standpoint is not always ready. That's my opinion. But I think most of the Laker fans will probably feel the same way. All right. Talking of the other NBA games today, we'd like to talk a little bit about Celtics and Detroit game. It was very interesting till the end when Jason Tatum hits that game-winning bucket again. This continues to prove that he is clutch player. And Jaylen Brown, impressive. Every game he's impressing the NBA, the fans. Just he's getting better every single game. And the Nets and the Wizards, I was watching toward the end. I didn't see who won the game, but I found out the score. The Wizards won by 1 point. They go on a 2-game winning streak. Westbrook was out for the last game, and then he came back to play. And of course, I'm always cheering for the Wizard because one of my favorite players playing for the Hachimura Rui. He's the first Japanese-born players drafted out of Japan, and he's impressive. He's putting a good number. He ended with 15 points and showed some aggression on defense. Continue to improve on his game. And to remind you, the Dallas is losing against Chicago without the Doncic in the lineup. The Golden State's beating Portland 10 points, 73-63. A Phoenix LA Clippers game that is going down to the wire. It's this 4-point game, 98-94. Impressive. It's just a lot of interesting game today. But I'll say other than Lakers, every game was pretty much interesting. And how would you rate the overall performance of Lakers in tonight's game? I would say, would have done better. We could have done better on defense. Could have done better on contesting their shots. Memphis looked like they were ready to play. They were ready to upset us, but we came out with a victory. So a win is a win, but I'll say we didn't try our best. So that's how good we are going to be. Like, it's just, even we didn't try hard 100%, we still were able to get the win. There will be a lot of games like this in the beginning of the first part of the season, since the Lakers whole teams are not gelling yet, and they're gonna show some struggle down the road, especially contest their defense in the paint. It's gonna be a major problem this season. I don't know. I think the Lakers still have chance to obtain one more backup center before the trade deadline. So that'll be something that we have to watch out for. We definitely don't have enough size in the paint. Marc Gasol himself alone is not enough. I still feel like we should have kept Dwight Howard because we had a chance, but there was a miscommunication between Howard camp and the Lakers camp. So unfortunately, we weren't able to bring Howard back for another season. It would have been a different story if we had Howard in the paint. We would not have allowed easy basket. Howard was very reliable protecting the paint. He wasn't ever an all-around player. Like Gasol is the one who can space the floor, who can help the team score with his passing ability. But Dwight Howard is the one who can rely on defense. And that's always what the type of player that you need. He's the one who will do dirty work and get the boards and give us a second chance. So Joanna asking if I know the date Nets versus Lakers game in the regular season. Actually, I will have to check on the schedule and just say I did bookmark the Lakers schedule for whole year. So New Jersey Nets, it'll be very interesting to play New Jersey this season. But I think there will only be like maybe one time. Well, because in the first part of schedule, like until the March 3rd, it doesn't show me the game against the Nets. Oh, there is one on the February 18th. Lakers are playing Brooklyn on the February 18th. That's on TNT. That's going to be interesting. So, as you know, in order to lower the travel distance this season to prevent from the COVID-19, NBA's schedule, most of the team's schedule is within the distance. So to reduce the travel. So most of the Western Conference team will play against their own division or the Western team. So there won't be much game against the Eastern Conference. Like usually 82 game schedule, there's four games played against the Eastern Conference, like each team. But this season looks like there might be one or two games. If it's lucky, there might be another game playing against the Nets. But it's definitely interesting to see Lakers play Nets on February the 18th. And what other games are you looking forward to play for the Lakers? I would say a Clippers game, definitely, because we need to get another win against Clippers. And doesn't look like we have game against Clippers for the first part of the season. Yeah, we're not playing Clippers anytime soon. There's no Clippers game against the Lakers. That is a little disappointing. But I know there's a other interesting match like Lakers against Suns or Lakers against Boston. Boston, like always, classic library. And interesting to see how Lakers play against Milwaukee as well. There are a couple games that's going to be interesting. But we're playing San Antonio again on the Thursday. Then we play the Bulls, and then 2 games against the Houston. Houston games is interesting as well. See how the Lakers play against the new-looking Houston Rockets with the John Wall and the DeMarcus Cousins. Portland game is definitely interesting. But we lost against Portland, right? That was an ugly game. Next time we're playing Portland is going to be on February 26th. So we won't play them for a while. So a lot of teams we played already spread out in the schedule, so we're not playing them for a while. But we'll be playing other teams that we haven't played so far. But I'm just picking some of the interesting match, like January 30 against Boston, February 4th against Denver, Denver again on February 14th, and Brooklyn on February 18th. Wizard, I would like to see the Lakers play with the Wizard on February 22nd. And Phoenix, March 2nd. Those are kind of interesting matches that I'm looking forward to. So Lakers go on, right now the record is 5-2. It's actually the record that I expected. I thought we were going on 5-1, because I expected us to beat Portland. It was at home, and then we lost that game. So my prediction is almost similar to my previous beginning of the season. My first, 5 games, 6 game, we'll go 5-1. So it's very similar to what my pick was. The other news around the NBA, there's not much really going on other than some of the Golden Clippers staff are positive with coronavirus, and they are stuck in Salt Lake City for now, so need to get isolated. Still, ESPN Adrian Wojnarowski reported that several members of Clippers support staff are quarantined in Salt Lake City after a positive coronavirus test. So contact tracing led back to 8 people attending New Year's Eve meal at a presidential suite in the team hotel with intermittent mask wearing. Now this is a joke. See, there's some people are just still not following this health and safety protocol. But there's no groups including players or coaches or no team management. So I guess just the support staff are infected with COVID-19. And as you know, the early report that Thomas Satoransky from Chicago Bulls has tested positive for COVID-19, as well as a support staffer. So I guess they'll have to see how, if Satoransky appreciate for joining the post-game show, my boy Joe. I will see you again. Go Lakers. So there is no reporting about other players getting infected. The Bulls player, most likely it's just the Satoransky got infected with COVID-19, and he will be isolated until NBA gave a further notice to join the team. So that was all I had for today. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Just gonna bounce back and just relax and have my dinner. And then I will see you guys again for the next post-game live show on Tuesday. That which is against the Memphis. All right. Peace.